Hi, welcome to North of 48. It is May 17th. We're coming on a long weekend. It's Queen Victoria's birthday this weekend. And for an old girl, she's still pretty lively, and we respect that. We respect the fact that she gives us a holiday, and we've been, is it a couple of 100 years now we've been celebrating her birthday, so good on her. And I don't know, it's about 7 degrees Celsius. It's kind of cold today. It's rainy, and we could use the rain. Being that it's 2024, I am so happy that things have changed. Like it couldn't be as bad as last year, is what we're hoping for.
The wildfire is classified as MWF017. It is out of control and is now nearly 21,000 hectares in size. The wildfire grew significantly to the northeast yesterday, and it was driven by gusty winds. As of this morning, the closest point of the fire is about 5.5 kilometers from the Fort McMurray landfill and 4.5 kilometers from the intersection of Highway 63 and 881. Night vision helicopters worked overnight to drop water on the fire's active edges and were supported by firefighters on the ground looking for hotspots. Less than 1 millimeter of rain fell on the wildfire overnight. Active fire behavior is expected today, but it should be less than what we saw yesterday, thanks to cooler temperature and weaker winds. Winds from the northwest at 10 kilometers an hour are expected today, which should push the fire away from Fort McMurray and Highway 63. A high of 13 degrees is expected, which will lead to cooler weather and slightly less wildfire activity. Firefighters will be back on the line today and will continue to work to stop the spread of the fire. Helicopters and air tankers are going to be dropping water and retardant on the active edges of the fire, and heavy equipment operators are building fire guards to the southwest of Fort McMurray. Firefighters are also working to complete some of the structural protection on buildings in the Prairie Creek and Beacon Hill neighborhoods, and structure protection was installed on the Rickards Landing Industrial Park, Gregoire Lakes Estates, and Gregoire Lake 176. Alberta Wildfire and the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo have entered into unified command, and we are going to be working together to manage this wildfire. Because of conditions in the northern part of the province, as Mr. Lowen said at 2 o'clock this afternoon,
Nothing's changed. Still smoking.
And
Welcome
you're
to
all going to die.
Yeah, welcome to 2024. Yes, we have wildfires. Fort Nelson, BC, Grand Prairie County, Fort McMurray. And there's one highway out of Fort McMurray, and they're looking for alternate routes of escape. So, you know, we were thinking that. Sorry, I got to lean over here. Here we go.
What about Fred McMurray?
We do not celebrate his birthday, Jim. That's Jim Earl quaking in the background. Jim, we'll tell you when we're ready for you. Go ahead, talk anytime you want. I like you. Well, let's bring on Jim and Martha right away here. One thing though, let's settle down here about the Ukraine war. So we're on to day 814, and the missiles and the bombs supplied from the U.S. have apparently reached the Ukraine, at least the first thrust of first shipment. And there's a massive operation in Kharkiv the Russians are trying to do, bombing the crap out of them. And now it seems the tide has turned, which is good. Israel conflict is still going. However, we have something that is just incredible right now. That's right. Rudy Giuliani is missing. We need to find this guy.
Missing what?
He's missing, period. I will tell you in 2 seconds here. So Giuliani seemingly vanished after his indictment in Arizona for election interference, and he owns a condo in Palm Beach County. I've suggested that they go search Mar-a-Lago, see if he's there. If you see Rudy, the Arizona Attorney General's office can be reached at 602-542-5025. There's also a tip submission area on the website, which is azag.gov. Sorry, you're American. azag.gov. If you've seen Rudy, please let somebody know. However, we have found Diddy. So they found Diddy in a hotel. Okay, I don't understand this story. You know, I should really look at it. CNN released 2016 Los Angeles hotel security video on Friday. Okay, so he's not found, but he's been shown to physically assault singer Cassie in the Los Angeles hotel hallway in 2016. So that's quite damaging to Diddy. I don't know how many moronic songs we're going to get from this, but we shall probably get a few. Jim, would you like to come on, Jim? Would you like to put on your camera, buddy?
Yes, sir, but is it possible if I do something first here, because I have something that you might want to listen to for a couple of minutes. It's some previously unheard, newly discovered recording of a phone call between Senator Susan Collins of Maine and Robert Durst.
Is that the guy who was killing young men in LA?
Robert Durst, well, he killed 3 people. Yeah, he's that.
Wasn't he trying to suck their blood to get younger?
No, that was a different.
That was a different Durst. Oh, okay, so sorry. This is the guy who would bring young men to his home and then kill them.
No, this is Robert Durst of the Durst real estate empire in New York City, who was accused of killing his wife, and then another witness afterwards. It's about 10 years later, and then his best friend.
He killed his best friend.
Yeah, Robert Durst.
Okay.
He's a star of the Jinx HBO documentary.
Wow. Okay, well, that's is that a must watch? Should I watch that?
It's yeah. People have been binge watching it.
Okay. So what do I need to do for you? Do I need to spotlight you, highlight you? Are you going to share? How would you like this?
Well, it's just going to be Senator Susan Collins and
Robert Durst.
Robert Durst here.
So this is all audio then, is what you're saying?
This is yes, all audio. There's
okay. Can I, all right. You know what? We can do this. There's Robert. Do I need to pin Susan Collins or no?
Yes, I believe so, if that's possible.
Okay. I don't see her. Has she arrived yet? I see Martha, but I don't see
Martha.
I like working with professionals. This is so much because I'm such an amateur at this.
Oh, you will. She says you won't let her join. She's trying to join. Yeah, she's trying to join. That's right.
No, she's here.
You can't. She can't mute, and she can't even start the video.
She needs to share then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She needs to share.
Let's have a few technical problems, but that's fine. I got to take a washroom break later. These parts I can edit out. So, so what do you need? How? Oh, remove permission, allow permission. I don't know. Ask to unmute. There we go.
You need to allow.
I don't see any, sorry, I don't see any permissions. I think it's up to her. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong. She can't. She's
Oh,
she
you know
can't
what?
start the video and she can't.
That's because
And
she's recording. If you stop the recording first, Martha, and then get your permissions together and then start the recording again. Did that make sense? Wow. Well, that's tonight's show, everybody. Thank you very
Martha,
much.
you need to stop recording.
Martha does, yes.
Yeah. Okay. She stopped recording and she can't start video.
She has to. So does Martha have a video? Oh, she can't.
No,
Okay, ask to start.
she's already
Oh,
clicked. She's already clicked on the unmute, on his unmute. What?
this is just weird. I am not withholding any permission from you.
She's going to leave the meeting and try to join again.
Okay, all right. Could we perhaps just get rid of Buddy's face there for a second? And there we go. All right, we're off. We're swimmingly. We're doing great today, boys and girls.
So you're okay.
Yeah.
You're all right. Good. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, no, I am. It's been been a tough couple of weeks. Today I was cranky. So for those who don't know, I had surgery and I had staples on my belly. I got those removed, and my wife was telling me, hey, with the staples removed, it doesn't look as violent. There were a lot of staples.
How many staples?
I did not
you count?
I did not count, but I made sure the doctor looked twice. I said, did you get all of them? And she looked again and said, yes.
That's good news.
Yeah, that is very good news. Oh, here she is. Here comes the gorgeous Martha with the pretty Jim.
She's connecting.
Can I ask you who your provider for your internet is, Jim?
It is who is it? Speculum? Is
Spectrum? Okay.
She is connecting to audio.
She is. She is. And then we'll edit all the drivel away, but for the people, anybody on YouTube listening to this right now, you're welcome. Okay.
Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm
Okay.
here.
All right.
Oh, I bet you thought you were rid of me.
Okay, just hold on. Let me set you guys up here. There we go. Enjoy the stylings of Robert Durst and Susan Collins.
So this is basically to set this up. This is a never been heard before heard tape recording of a phone call between Senator Susan Collins and Robert Durst.
Okay, that's got to be scary. Just those two words together is scary.
And here we're going to play it now.
Okay, we're all looking forward to it.
Here goes.
How come Robert's pupils are so big? I mean, sorry. Play the recording. My bad.
It's
Hold on. I think we're having some technical difficulties. Hold on just a minute.
Oh, that's fine. Gotta love Microsoft Windows. Could have had an Apple. No.
This better be worth it.
I couldn't afford an Apple.
Okay, Jim, set that up again.
Okay.
Set him up, Jim.
This is a recorded phone call between Senator Susan Collins and Robert Durst a few years ago.
Hello, this is Senator Susan Collins of Maine, the world's capital of Febreze-scented vape pens and crack pipes. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Hi, this is Bob. This is Bob Durst.
Oh, hi, Bob. Did you know Maine's two biggest exports are burlwood dildos and maple syrup?
Gee, it's really good to hear your voice again. We haven't talked in such a long time.
I know, dear. And why is that, Bob?
I don't know. I don't have the slightest idea. Sometimes I guess friends just drift away from each other, like my best friend Morris Black. I
Oh.
dismembered him, put parts of his body in some big black trash bags and threw them into the water, and he just drifted away. I never did find his head. I woke up and there was blood everywhere. I don't know where the head is. Do you?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if one of our beluga whales ate it, Robert. And
Oh.
that's why I'm very disappointed with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration putting restrictions on Maine's lobstermen. It's time we stop protecting those murderous whales who ate your friend Morris Black.
Can I count on you to tell that DA in Los Angeles that one of your beluga whales ate Morris Black's head and not me?
Of course you can, Bob. Loyalty is the main way. This is Maine, after all, where children make voodoo dolls out of potatoes and sell meth to their parents.
I'm high on meth right now. I wanted to get away from this Janine Perot lady in New York. That DA has it in for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was going to use a new investigation of me to further her career. So I moved in with my good friend Morris Black, but he died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Morris was shot in the head with my gun in my apartment after I rented that apartment dressed as a woman. So what's going on with you?
Well, congratulate me, Robert. I just broke another Senate record for never missing roll call votes.
Speaking of missing, my wife, Kathy, I lost her on January 31st, 1982, and dropped her off at the train station. Kathy used to drive one of these fancy Mercedes sedans, all flashy colored, and I don't know. That's not the car for me. I just want the kind of car that's muted colors and blend in with the background with a big trunk,
Oh, I have a big trunk, Bob. Not to interrupt you, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. You need a big trunk if you got these big black plastic trash bags full of
What can I do? What can I do for you, Bob?
I need your help.
You? How can I help you, Bob?
I need you to tell that prosecutor that Kathy called you up from work after I dropped her off at the train station. Can I count on you for that, Susan?
Of course you can, Bobby. I am so very disappointed in that district attorney hounding you like this. Oh, the nerve. Bobby, you've done so much for my campaign with your
Yeah.
very generous donations.
Oh, this is nothing. And I love your state's clam shacks and your lobster barn. Do you know
Oh,
anything
of
about boats,
course.
Susan?
Of course. Why, yes, we have lots of boats here in Maine, even more boats than potatoes. We're literally swimming in potatoes.
Well, as you know, put I put those big black plastic trash bags in the back of the boat, but I don't remember anything. I don't know where the head is. Could be in the bag, could be on the floor, could be anywhere. I don't remember. I can't remember all of these things. I need you to tell that DA one last time that you heard from Kathy when she called you up from Manhattan. After I realized Morris Black was dead, I guess I should have called the police, but
Mm.
I cleaned it up as well as I could. I threw water
Mhm.
everywhere with Mr. Clean. I did not kill my friend, but I did dismember him.
Well, you can count on me, Robert.
Oh,
Oh, and
thank you.
no problem, dear. Speaking of cleaning up, I really do have to go now. I'm
Mm,
so sorry. My husband, Tom, crapped all over the floor again from eating a
ah,
jar of tainted fiddlehead firms from Sprinklefuss Farms for the third
ah.
time this week, and it's only Tuesday.
Well, I'm
Hi,
sorry to
Senator
bother you,
Collins.
Susan. Thank
I'm
you.
Senator Collins, and I
Oh,
approve this message.
what? What? We're on the phone. It's not Anyway, thank you, Susan. I hope nobody's recording this call. Bye bye. Well, that was the recording, uh, as it was done years ago.
As it was done years ago. I mean, that was just wonderful. I didn't know. I felt like laughing, and but I didn't want to ruin your recording. So, and Jim's off camera now. What the fuck, Jim? Excuse my language.
There,
So
I'm on there.
Jimmy,
so let's talk a little bit about Robert Durst, if you don't mind. So I pulled up Wikipedia here on my other screen. I did not know he was the son of Seymour Durst, the New York magnate, the real estate guy. And I did not know that in the 70s he ran a small health food store.
all good things.
Yeah. And then
In Vermont.
is in Vermont, where what is wrong with that state? I don't know. It's too close to Canada, maybe.
Too close
They
to
have
Maine.
Bernie Sanders. What's wrong with that state?
Yeah.
I
His,
loved my wife. My
his
wife, we had a wonderful little love nest up there. I did not kill her. I don't know what happened to her body.
Is that you, Jim, or is that Robert? I can't tell because it's a video
I
of
can't
you.
tell anymore either.
Yeah. How many times has Jim been married? Oh. Uh, very tragic circumstances, but like, so his dad convinced him to go back and work in his real estate firm, and then he wasn't good at it, so he made his second son head of the firm. Then Robert's pissed off, Durst, and he sues and gets $65 million from the family trust in 2006. And so this serial that you're talking about, what was this, a Netflix video or?
Yeah, called The Jinx. And there was a movie
Right.
called what was the movie called?
All
Something
good things.
All Good Things.
Right, and he wasn't charged till the series. I guess his wife Kathy McCormick disappeared in 1982, and he did not get. He wasn't charged, and then he wasn't charged with Berman's murder until that series and the movie came out, and then they charged him. I mean,
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of people suspected him, obviously,
yeah,
and
He
wow.
had a lot of connections, I think,
Do you think so?
as in money.
So he got life imprisonment with the possibility of parole in 2021, and he died in 2022. So it's
that he did.
a life well worth lived.
And he left $100 million to his second wife,
Wow.
who kept shut. Obviously,
Kept
she
her
knew
mouth shut. Yeah.
yeah, kept and protected him and helped him,
So
supported him.
there was something wrong with him mentally, right? Obviously.
Oh, I
would
think it's
think.
kind
I
of
think he may have had,
sociopathic.
yeah, I think he had, they might have mentioned schizophrenia.
And then Asperger's, but yet people with Asperger's aren't murderers.
Well, no, but if they were, they'd be meticulous.
About it, and he was not.
If you hire a murderer, make sure they have OCD or maybe Asperger's.
He left a lot of loose ends.
And we do not on this podcast condone hiring murderers.
No,
not at all.
Only Asperger murderers.
How are you guys? How are you guys doing?
How are you doing, Martha?
Oh, I'm doing very fine, thank you.
You're positively
you.
glowing. Does that mean there's
Oh,
garden
thank
in your
you.
future?
Well, spring is in the air and things are starting to thaw
We're
out around
expecting.
these
We're
parts.
expecting.
No. Spring has sprung.
Well,
No, we're finally getting some sunshine and some warm weather here.
Really?
It's delightful. Yeah, this is the trees and the buds and the flowers are
Right.
popping out, and yeah,
Well,
it's a
7
pretty
degrees above
time
normal.
of year.
We don't have any
Yeah.
mosquitoes up here because of the smoke. It clears them out.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we got
luckily
some
haven't
rain.
had any.
We got some rain, so the fires have been tampered down a bit.
We can only smell Febreze scented crack pipes and vape pens here in Maine.
But
And
breathe
that's the
scented.
truth.
Don't.
That's the
Mhm.
truth.
I hope the kids aren't doing that now. Smoking.
Well,
Next though, like I like the smell of Fantastic, but I don't think they should vape it.
we'd
it-
favor smelling your fire smoke, but I'm glad that things seem to be under control there.
Well, for now, we got quite a bit of rain. I have a friend who's working on the highways up at Grand Prairie. He said the smoke was so thick you could hardly see in front of you, right? I said, well,
Oh.
why are you working? Pull off and go home. But
Yeah.
Speaking of thick smoke and working,
okay.
this week we went into town
Did you
just
get a
north of here.
okay, good. I want to talk to you a little bit
Yeah.
about that. So you go ahead.
Sure. And there were several men working outside on the street, just cutting a gigantic chunk out of the street and cutting up the sidewalk. There was a huge hole. Jim, how big was that hole? It was huge.
It's
How
like
many
this.
refrigerators?
It's like,
Oh, like 50 refrigerators or more, maybe 70 Canadian refrigerators.
Oh no, we use metric. How many meters? So we
No,
translate
70
to
total.
American refrigerators for Americans, so for size. So
3 meters, maybe 3 by 3 meters.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So a couple of refrigerators.
I was measuring in refrigerators,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
standard
Jim, get with the program. We all got to talk the same way.
Canadian refrigerator size.
Canadian
Okay.
refrigerators, which are probably
Smaller probably than American refrigerators. but
wider, probably.
friendlier.
It's a friendly refrigerator.
So anywho, they had this gigantic, and they were cutting up, and there was dust and smoke everywhere. And we went to our little store, which was, they didn't have anything marked off or, warning us of tools and sharp objects on the ground and what have you, or the gigantic hole that was right in front of us. And the shop was closed. We got there too early. And he said, "Oh, you got to come back." And I said, "Okay." And he looked at me and said, "Why the mask?" This is a guy cutting up concrete on the sidewalk. He wasn't even masked. He had no protective
clouds of concrete dust, asbestos
everywhere,
filling the air. One of his fellow workers is sitting there smoking a cigarette.
Well, how many Robert Durst body bags could you fit in that hole?
Well, 5 big black plastic bags. I don't recall where his head is. I never found the head.
He remembers dismembering him. Yeah, jeez.
Oh yeah, he woke up.
He woke up
surrounded by in a pool of blood.
Well, I get a little.
He was acquitted for that. He's
that's some pull, right?
Yeah,
that is
money.
That's justice system pull right there, or financing, justice system financing. I mean, it was $65 million. How come he got caught? Well, because he opened his big mouth, right?
Well, he's sued for $65 million, but he was still worth over $100 million.
Right.
His share of the Durst business and all that.
So is his wife classified as a good woman because she kept her mouth shut?
No, I think it looks like she just kept a lot of knowledge to herself. And I mean,
well, you never know. She might have been in one of them body bags, right?
Not the second wife. She's still alive and happy with $100 million.
Yeah, I hear you. So you were at the grocery store. I got a little video, if you don't mind, I'll show you. And this is really starting to be a thing up here in Canada about theft and stuff. So let me waste 2 minutes of your lives and show you this video, if you don't mind. I didn't get your permission. Can I have your permission?
Sure.
I'm going to show it.
Susan Dennison says she had a distressing experience at this Loblaw-owned grocery store.
It was exasperating. I felt like I was ambushed.
Just as she was leaving, anti-theft technology in her cart was somehow triggered, causing its wheels to lock up.
I realized I was being apprehended as a possible thief.
Dennison was only cleared after an employee inspected her receipt.
How long did that process take?
Well, it seemed like forever with people walking by. It was humiliating. Their methods need to catch the thieves, not honest customers.
It's a common complaint from shoppers as major retailers beef up security, adding metal gates, random receipt checks, controlled exits, and most recently, plexiglass barriers found in many Loblaw stores.
All this plexiglass up when you leave.
Loblaw says its anti-theft measures are necessary to fight a surge in organized retail crime. The grocer hasn't provided data to support its claim. However, the Retail Council of Canada says the problem is real, based on what it's been told by police and retailers.
We're talking here about gangs that are in the business of stealing, and retail is the new frontier.
Even so, this expert says retailers need to find anti-theft measures that don't make shopping unpleasant.
The current status quo it's just bad for shopper experience. And that's not what you want when you're in retail.
Some retailers, including Walmart in the US, are working with AI technology to verify if customers have paid for everything in their cart.
They have to make sure their technology works properly.
Stores have the right to use technology to stop thieves, but Dennison says in her case, it glitched. So she has switched grocery stores. Sophia Harris, CBC News, Burlington, Ontario.
Have you guys had anything like that? Seen that?
You know, in
Yeah.
America?
Well, yeah, in America. In America.
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's on the headlines all the time, but it's exaggerated. It's ridiculous. You know, these big companies have poor business models. They're losing a lot of money, and they blame it on these smash and grabs or these so-called gangs coming in.
Well,
And when most of their theft happens right in their own warehouses.
So they came out with a report that said $95 million worth of loss from theft. And then they came out and said, no, that wasn't right. We don't know what the number is. Right. So they're trying to scare you, scare the customer. The Costco way, where they just look at your ticket on the way out, I don't mind that. I know to expect that, but this lady coming out of Loblaws with the shopping cart and then it locks up. And mind you, she looked like a thief, didn't she? I mean, she looked pretty hardcore, so I'll give them that, but
it's just another scare tactic and a distraction.
Well,
to distract against these corporations' shitty business models, and they're losing millions. They're losing a lot of money because of their own crappy tactics.
Yes, I agree. But so up in Canada, maybe you got more competition up in the United States, but up in Canada, the major grocery stores have bought all the independent stores. So you don't get the friendly service anymore. It's all one size fits all, plexiglass, locking up the shopping carts. Lack of competition. However, Loblaws, what we just seen, which owns Superstore, they've now signed on to the food protection, something that the government's mandated that they sign on to make shopping a nicer thing and to slash prices. And I have yet to see prices slashed. Like I went into our local grocery store yesterday and I started getting mad. I seen a loaf of bread for $9.75. And $9.75. Right. And it was an artesian loaf of bread, so it must have been fantastic, but I will never eat that $9.75 loaf of bread.
Artesian? You mean artisanal? Is that what you
said?
saying?
Artesian, so it was.
Really?
Yeah, it was a gourmet bread.
Yeah, well, that's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say
fucking ridiculous.
That's freaking ridiculous.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's crap, man. But our shopping experience as consumers isn't the best anymore. Prices keep raising, and you got to grow your own, I guess, right? You know, just like Martha and Jim do, grow a garden. My tomato plants are only like this, and I've been growing them for 2 months, so I don't know what I did wrong this year.
It sounds like not enough sun.
That's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how plants can reflect your personality. So maybe it knew that I was ill and decided, once you get better, then we'll get bigger. So we'll see. We have not had much sun. I have grow lamps though, and I'm hoping for some sunshine without fire and smoke.
Well, we hope as well.
Because July 4th is coming, baby, and we're going to have a barbecue. So,
and a lot of gunshots in the air.
A lot of gunshots. Well, for us, it'll be July 1st. So, Dominion Day or Canada Day.
Dominion.
Used to be Dominion Day up in Canada, but we're no longer Dominion of Canada. We're our own country. We have a right to be our own. Grocery stores have the right to screw you just like they screw Americans. So, and we're getting screwed, buddy. You know,
We're all getting screwed.
we
This is
are.
a big screwed world. Everybody's
right.
screwing everybody else.
We should actually, yeah. Well, no, that's true.
And
I
there's
don't-
only one solution to it.
What's the solution, Jim?
To take the DNA
Okay.
of a Neanderthal.
Okay. Robert Durst.
No, a real Neanderthal.
Susan Collins?
Yeah.
And combine it with Homo sapiens once again. We can take on the empathy and intelligence and instincts of the Neanderthal and combine them with the wily nature of the Homo sapien. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well,
but
it
sounded
sounds
good to
like you're
begin
making
with.
a Wall Street broker, my friend. That's what it sounds like.
Doesn't sound anything of the sort, fella.
Okay.
The only solution is to stop eating meat. That will be a big start to all of
And
our
bread, gluten.
climate troubles. All our
$9.75 loaves I will not eat. But
climate troubles.
why
climate
can't I have
change.
bread? Why is it the carbs, Martha?
Yeah, well, the carbs and the wheat has changed, and it can cause gluten causes a lot of inflammation.
This is true. I've heard this. Is it the
yeah.
GMO? Is it the modified wheat though that causes the inflammation in people?
Yeah, and I think the glyophosphates, is that the right word, Jim?
Yes, it is.
Something
Yeah.
Glycophosphate, yeah.
Roundup.
glycophosphates, yeah, that are in the wheat. It's weed killer.
Well, they find
Yeah.
it in cornflakes that your kids eat. Glycophosphate,
I get that
glycophosphate.
and the PFAS is all confused. Between the PFASs and the glycophosphates, you're gonna get screwed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If that's Roundup, I'd hate to see Round Down. Who are these people making this DDT stuff?
I don't know. I do know I like you guys and thank you.
Oh, shut up.
I do.
Oh,
Stop it.
we love you, Wally.
Aw, I appreciate that very much for no, I do. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys and the things you do. And people should appreciate you more often. So what's happening with the Muppets? Sorry, the koalas.
We acquired another one recently.
Oh, okay.
But you know, it takes a lot of we have to do with some more videos. If
You do.
not
Mhm.
for anyone else's enjoyment, but our own, because we're peculiar.
Well, let's say people did enjoy this. Where can they find it?
On TikTok.
On TikTok.
Koala
Oh,
Lafont is on
hold on
TikTok.
there. Hold on there. Now you're
Mm.
talking Chinese espionage.
Mhm.
So
So
are the koalas bought by the Asian government?
they're
No,
made by
well, they're
South Korea.
Korean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were made in South Korea.
What do you think of this TikTok thing? Do you think
I
that's
think it's
It's crazy.
I think it's one of the few
Yes.
places where you can get some accurate information about what's happening in Gaza.
What about
Yes.
Rumble? You can always go to Rumble.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Rumble.
Sorry. My bad.
And perhaps some Twitter,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you certainly
the
won't
same.
find it on the networks that criticize TikTok. That's for sure. And
Really?
you'll find a bunch of funny parrot videos and a bunch of completely horrible, tedious, monotonous, boring, offensive stuff too.
So me, a guy who doesn't use TikTok, how do I just punch in koala and it'll come up?
Yeah,
Or is
Koala
there
Lafong. LAF, capital LA, capital FONG.
wow,
Koala Lafong.
koala Lafong.
We named it
Yeah.
after that famous W.C. Fields bit in the film It's a Gift.
Well, I might have seen it, but it doesn't strike a bell with me.
You've never seen It's a Gift?
I
It's,
may
it's
have, but
incredible.
I don't recall the Lafong part.
Yeah,
So if I seen it, I would know it, right? So
I hope so. Yeah. Well, you
see,
should watch it.
I have to do my research every time you're on here. After I have to go, oh, okay, let's go watch the W.C. Fields film. So Lafong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
down ring a bell.
Almost sounds French. La
It
Femme.
does, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Sounds Canadian, French Canadian.
French Canadian. Yes.
No, it would be Li Fong. No, that sounds Asian. Sorry, Lafong.
La Femme.
Bienvenue. Je m'appelle Lafong. I don't know. That doesn't roll
Eh?
off the tongue.
Mhm.
Eh?
Mhm.
You know, are you watching the hockey games at all? Yeah, I'm talking to you, Jim.
Me?
Yeah,
No.
maybe Martha is.
I don't even know what hockey is.
New York Rangers won last night.
Go Rangers!
Well, there's a possibility that we'll see Boston in the playoffs here in the conference final. My own Edmonton Oilers lost to the Vancouver Canucks last night. So we're not very happy in my house this morning, but oh well, there's another game. It's the best of 7 series, and they just did 5 games. So Edmonton's got to win the next game. New York can rest on their laurels and wait. And I forget who Boston's playing, actually. Is it Florida? Could be Florida. So it could be a New York-Boston match. And hockey has been quite popular this year in the United States. Attendance is through the roof, and viewership too as well.
So does it bother you that virtually every one of these professional teams that has the name of the city they play for,
Yes.
virtually nobody on the teams actually is from the town?
Well, what bothers me more is how can hockey be popular in Texas and Arizona and Carolina, parts of the country that never have ice rinks. That's kind of silly, but a lot of Canadians go to Arizona, and Arizona has now moved to Utah.
I think it's the brutal
Friggin'
beatings.
Utah.
I think it's the brutal beatings that appeals to these states.
Well, it's been
hitting people over the head with a hockey stick and a hockey puck going through somebody's teeth.
On behalf of Canada, you're welcome. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining me and joining us, actually.
It was a pleasure joining you.
I'd ask the audience if they have a question, but I don't think they do.
Nobody's awake. Nobody cares anymore. It's all over.
Okay.
Is anybody out there?
Let me close out the show.
Everybody's just, are they even watching the show right now? These guys in the audience? Or are they just kind of fiddling with themselves in a maniacal, frantic, frenzied manner?
That's right. They're letting people in the room. So thank you very much. Let me close her out. But you stick around and do this, and I shall do this. And well, thank you very much, guys. This has been North of 48. Take care.